a break. We're going to go to our next segment. We're going to start with the hot seat, but I want to talk a little bit more about what you've done with the chamber and everything that you've done.
Tickets at TexRenFest.com.
Top 40s. Dance. Latin. Country. Pop. Rock and roll. All of the stations. 91.1 FM, The Boss.
Hey, welcome back. We're here with J.J. Hollie, President and CEO of the Woodlands Chamber of Commerce. We were talking about J.J. and going through the real hot seat in his interview process as the CEO of the Chamber. I was talking about Karen Holman. I was honored to serve on the committee that selected J.J. And
let me tell you, I was so excited when I heard the news
that
J.J. was going to be the new president, and he has proven himself wrong. He can do the job, and very well.
Yeah, it was, in fact, I was super excited, too. Not only that J.J., well, first of all, J.J. was going to be the chamber chairman. And then I found out, okay, he's interviewing for the president CEO, and I said, can you do both those jobs at once?
And you're a former chair.
Yeah,
right?
I am. Oh, yeah, it's a big job.
And because you get to pick the theme of the ball.
You do get to, that's why I'm a big deal. That's why I'm a big deal.
You're a big deal.
What did you pick? What was your theme?
Rock and roll, baby.
Rock and roll.
How could it be anything else?
And I did a live performance to Robert Palmer, and I had the Palmer girls behind me, and then had them, all the chicks rush the stage at my event. At my event, I had my college fraternity brothers were the band for the rock and roll. So it was perfect. Totally perfect. Okay, enough about me. Enough about me. Let's talk about another big deal, J.J. Hollie here. So
what was your theme going to be if you had gone?
My theme was going to be, because Jeremy, you bring up a good point. I'm actually the only chairman-elect who has never served a single day as a chairman of the board.
You got canceled.
Isn't that what I got canceled out?
Yeah.
My theme was going to be Hollywood.
Hollywood
would have been perfect.
That is excellent. That is excellent.
Amy's still upset about that. So.
Well,
we'll have to do it.
Yeah, we should do. Well, you're going to probably have a chairman who says, "I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
What can my theme be?"
Yeah, I can just take over the chairman's ball for that chairman. They wouldn't mind at all.
So you came in after Karen Holman, big shoes to fill. I love Karen Holman.
Yes.
And when you take over for an institution like that, was there any change, or how was it your first couple of years on the board?
I have a kind of an affliction. I think it comes out of telecom, where if you're not doing something new yesterday, you're 6 months behind.
Right.
And one of the big lessons I've had to learn, and I still have to learn, is I've got to take it slower and take my time.
But today's product will not be tomorrow's. You've got to keep that in.
That's true. And you know, in a corporate environment, it's a very linear structure. And if you have a healthy one like we did at Consolidated, I mean, it's as efficient as, there's still some bureaucratic red tape at a corporation, but it was pretty efficient. And you've got a linear line of, chain of command. And being an old Army guy, I like the chain of command. I like to honor that. But reporting to a board, I've got 27 people.
Yeah.
That I report to. And so it's been a huge professional learning experience for me to understand how to work with a new boss every year, a new chairman, how to work with 7 new board members, because it's a 3-year term, so every third year they roll off. And so it's something where, and I actually have a spreadsheet, and it's got over 150 different initiatives that we've started, put in place since, and some of it's small stuff, but some of it's big things one of the things I brought was one of my VPs said, look, if you're not moving your organization forward, if you make a change, whether it's a staffing change, an event change, a product change, whatever, if you're not moving your department or the organization forward, then you're wrong. We put that lens on with everything that we do, and we try to make sure that it's volunteer-led, because we're a member organization. We're the largest business organization in the entire Houston region with over 1,200 members, and we take our volunteers very seriously. They help us make those decisions, and they lead those events.
Yeah, and you know what? I've seen an incredible change in the chamber. It's all been positive. I've enjoyed my past participation, but now my future participation I enjoy even more, having now joined the board again, and it's so exciting. Everything you're doing is fresh, exciting, it's new, and you can feel it. You can feel it in the room when you come in. The energy, buzz is always there. Yeah.
Your online presence, your digital identity has improved leaps and bounds.
Yes, and we have a phenomenal director of marketing, Miss Chazza Adams, who came to us from St. Kitts Nevis in the Caribbean.
Yes.
And she's got a fabulous accent, and we just have a great team. I mean, we are so fortunate. We've got a Director of Government Affairs, Margot McZeal, and we just had our Business Advocacy Council meeting, which is our legislative team meeting we have every month. And one of the things we're really working on is increasing our influence, increasing our presence, and making our voice known on important issues.
Yeah, and how did it go this morning? I know you had, was it
great.
Danny Signorelli?
Danny
was speaking,
Signorelli came in and spoke.
Right.
You know, he's very shy, very bashful. It's
Oh,
hard
yeah,
to get
he
Danny
holds back a lot,
kind of
yeah.
out of his shell, but
Right.
once he breaks out, he makes a good argument.
Yeah, so he did a good job.
He did a great job.
Outstanding,
a
outstanding.
good guy.
How do people connect with you, our listeners, if they want to get in touch or join the chamber?
Easiest way is through our website, which is woodlandschamber.org, not .com, but .org, because we are a 501c6
You're an
nonprofit
org.
organization, so we are not a for-profit group. But that's the best way to get hold of us. Our number is 281-367-5777, but you can connect with us through all the social media channels, Facebook, or Instagram, all that kind of stuff.
Good
And
deal.
you guys
Chad
have
is
done
all
a-
that.
You guys have done a show together before. You have your own show.
Do.
Zach Galifianakis.
Zach Galifianakis, he allowed us to
Right.
go off of his Between Two Ferns
Right.
title. We have Between the Trees, and we had Dr. Ann Snyder on this past Wednesday, which
wonderful.
was a huge honor just to be with Ann. And you know, we have so many people here. Bruce, you're included in that.
Thank you.
That we're part of. We're lucky. Your dad, the Dream Team,
Right,
That
right.
they're a lot of them are still here, and no other. I mean, you can't do that in Houston. You can't do that in Conroe, where you can talk to the people who were here and walk the trails before they were streets.
That's right.
You know, it
That's
is and I just covet any chance I get to talk to those guys. You know, Miss Roger Gladys.
Yeah.
Those guys. It's just amazing.
Yeah, that show is great too.
How
By
do
the way,
we
and
watch
thank
it?
you for doing that.
Sorry, how do we watch the show? How often?
So
does-
it is a Facebook Live, and we do it through Woodlands Online, which is a terrific partner with us. And we go to their studio over on Ash Lane Way, and we do it every Wednesday morning. Usually it's at 11 a.m. Sometimes it's at 10:30, but it's a Facebook Live session, and then Woodlands Online puts it on their webpage, and we have it shared through our Facebook page, so you can go back and see past episodes.
So that's what I did. I went to the chamber website. I looked at Between the Trees, then went and linked onto it, and then saw a couple of the episodes. And of course, I got prepared before I went on Between the Trees. So I wanted to see Melanie Bush, how she did, and I watched her show.
Oh, yeah, Melanie's
And so,
great.
Yeah, it was really good. Okay. JJ, we have so much to talk to you about, but
Yep.
we've got to put you on the hot seat. That's
I'm ready.
an important part of the show
I'm
is the
ready.
hot seat, and we have a new format for the hot seat. Now, the hot seat is going to be a rapid-fire cross-examination. We're going to give you short answers to
Yep.
our toughest questions.
Perfect.
Now, G.I. Jerome is going to swear you in.
Oh,
Yes.
I'll raise my right hand
Yes.
Jay,
appropriately.
before you're sworn in,
Yeah.
have you seen the hot seat before?
Yes.
Are you ready for the hot seat?
Yes.
Do you have sunglasses?
No.
If you do not have sunglasses, some will be provided for you.
Perfect.
Okay.
Oakley's my favorite brand. That's great.
We have 40 questions. Your goal is to answer them as quickly as possible. Short
40
answers
questions. All
or
right.
one-word answers.
What's the record? I need to know who to beat.
Jim Harmon, 6 questions for the record. Paula finished in 1 minute and 9 seconds for the record.
Paulo.
Rob
Paulo.
Eisler
Okay.
brought up the rear with over 7 minutes. Michael Boltz only answered 7 questions.
Oh, my
What?
God. I thought I was pretty good. I
You were
did
pretty
2
good.
hot seats.
You
two
did
hot
2 hot
seats for me.
seats.
Yes.
You
yeah,
did 2
good.
hot seats and you didn't pass once.
Okay.
That's another.
Yeah.
You get one
You can
pass.
pass.
Oh, I get one pass?
Yeah,
One pass.
Because
I'm
we
not
have
passing any, and I'm
hot
beating
political
Paula.
questions for you.
I'm ready to
Paulo.
go.
Beat Paulo.
Raise,
All right.
raise your
Yep.
right hand. State your name for the record.
JJ Hollie.
Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and your version of the truth, to answer the most questions with the fewest words as fast as you possibly can?
Yes.
He's ready.
All right, here we go. How do you spell Hollie?
Hollie.
Are you related to Buddy Holly?
No.
What does JJ stand for?
John.
Are you hiding behind your initials?
Yes.
Leading a double life?
Always.
Are you a Pacific University Forest Grove boxer?
Yes.
What's your rally cry?
Go Boxers.
If you were a pro boxer, what would your nickname be?
Sugar Ray Leonard.
Isn't it true that you lived in Holland?
Yes.
Isn't that the same as the Netherlands?
Yes.
When you were Dutch, did you ever double Dutch?
No.
On a Dutch date with a
No.
Dutch girl?
No, and no.
What's your
Because I was 5.
What's your kiddo's name and how old are they?
Trey Hollie, he's he'll be 22 in January.
Is he your favorite child?
Yes, he is.
True or false? Have you ever permed your hair?
No.
What
False.
kind of hair product do you use?
Hair gel.
Have you ever rocked a mustache?
No.
A bristle brush?
Bristle brush.
No.
Bristle brush.
Bristle brush.
Did you throw a flag on your hair for having its midlife crisis a decade early?
Yes.
How tall are you?
6'2".
What's your weight?
220.
Do you wear short shorts to the gym?
No.
Hey, do you even lift, bro?
even lift,
how much
bro?
do you? Yeah, how much you bench, bro?
Way more than both of you combined.
Jeremy's pretty good. Watch
yeah,
out.
Yeah, we'll have to bench off.
Yeah.
Isn't it true you're an Iron Man?
I am.
Prove it. Show us your tat.
I do not have any tattoos.
Tats or it didn't happen. What's your swimwear like on the Iron Man?
It was a wetsuit.
Do you wear a banana hammock when you train?
No.
Is an Ironman better than an adventure racer?
No.
You're an Ironman. Have you ever won EFTA Trivia Challenge?
No.
Last Ironman question. Is Robert Downey Jr. coming back as Tony Stark?
No.
Do you have a will?
No.
Do you have a prenup?
No.
How much money to retire?
More than I have.
What's the most humble job you've ever had?
Janitor.
How often do you check social media?
Every day.
What apps do you use?
Facebook.
Are you posting, trolling for comments, or just browsing?
Trolling.
Have you ever cried in the last year,
Yes.
month,
Yes.
week,
Yes.
day?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Yay, baby.
I'm an emotional guy.
Yay, baby.
I'm a
I
90s
love
type
it.
of guy.
I love it. Yeah,
Sum
woo.
up your life philosophy in a word or phrase.
Respect.
What's one thing people don't know about you that you want them to know?
My middle name, and I'm not telling you.
Isn't it true you work for Consolidated Communications,
Yes.
where you consolidated TV, internet, and phone into one low monthly rate?
Yes.
You invented bundling before Flow from Progressive, didn't you?
I did. I did.
You have a rags to riches story, don't you? From peddling TV bundles door to door, a real swap and save salesman, to being elected president of the chamber. Are you getting
that
to
a
be in the
question?
chambers
Yeah.
every day?
You get to be in chambers every day.
Yes.
How many members are there in chambers?
Over 1,200.
And what's your goal?
2,000.
How long does it take you time from the time you leave home till you're in chambers?
8 minutes.
What's the best kept secret in chambers?
I'm not telling you.
Who spends the most time in the mirror in chambers?
Me.
The least?
Royce.
Royce Brooks, yes.
Assuming you're the top dog, who's the second best president CEO in chambers?
Well, it's a long fall, but it would be Scott Harper.
Who spends the most time in the mirror in the chambers?
Me.
What's the meanest thing you've ever said in the chambers?
Oh, I can't say that.
What's your top unchecked bucket list item?
Ooh. Hitting all the 14ers.
If you could be anything other than the president in chambers, what would you be?
President of the United States.
Have you ever made someone cry in chambers?
Yes.
When's
What?
the last time?
Today.
One food for life, what would you eat? Oh, we got to find that out. One food for life, what would you eat?
Pancakes.
Fastest you've ever gone in a car?
150.
What's your favorite movie or show?
Big Bang Theory.
Favorite place you've ever been?
Portland.
Who's your favorite person in chambers?
Bruce Tuff.
Hey, thank you.
Who's a better dancer, Bruce Trump or Donald Tuff?
Bruce Tuff.
Rusty Hardin or Tony Busby?
Oh, Harden all the way.
Why does Deshaun Watson need so many massages?
He's very sore.
Who's smarter?
Recovery's important.
Who's smarter, you or Amy?
Amy.
Richard Gordy Bunch or Daniel Signorelli?
Signorelli.
What's a better pet, a boxer, the imaginary dragon, or Benny the Badger?
Ooh, boxer.
Would you rather eat dog in Japan with Yoko Ono or bread from a Dutch oven in the red light district?
Bread.
Would you would you rather drown during a dragon boat race or get trampled in the Ironman?
Trampled.
100-yard dash, you versus Gordy Bunch. Who incorporates first?
Well, I'm not incorporating.
Gordy.
Yay! All right, thank you.
Is that it?
Did
Yeah.
you
What
love
was
the
our
hot
time?
seat?
But no, we got one more. Did you? Yeah. Did you love the hot seat?
I love the
Yeah,
hot seat.
thank you. Great job, JJ.
That was fun.
Well, we put some really hard
Attaboy.
questions in. We
Yeah,
had our.
I liked it.
We have a team of writers and putting together programming notes. This one was one of the special ones.
Yeah,
we
let-
didn't even.
let-
You can
let-
tell we didn't rehearse.
Let me
beforehand.
clarify one, because when I did say the 14ers, that's the 14,000-foot peaks, not
Yes.
14-year-olds.
Yes,
Yes.
I
want to be
got
clear
that.
about
Yeah.
14ers.
I've climbed a couple of those too.
Yeah, they're great experiences.
Yeah, Long's Peak.
It's a big deal.
Long's
oh, yeah.
Peak, 14 grander, 14,000,
Yep.
325 or 230. I was
Taking
thinking.
your
yeah.
life into
It's
your
a-
own hands
Oh
on
my
those
God.
times.
See, I like mountains over the beach.
Yeah,
Right. I
yeah.
love the mountains. Probably my time in Alaska taught me that, but I loved it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's good. Okay, I've been wanting to ask this. What is your best Charlie Wilson story?
Well, the one I can say on air.
Yeah, the only one that's clean.
Yeah, I'll say this, a couple of them. One, I've been working for Charlie for about 2 weeks, and my job was to drive Charlie around in our Ford travel motorhome. And I learned quickly that he wanted fresh ice. It means that he wanted to be able to open the bag himself. The bag could be at the grocery store for 10 years, but he wanted a fresh. So one time I didn't get him a bag, so we stopped off for the Joy Juice liquor store just outside of Cleveland on Highway 59. And he comes out with a bag of ice, another brown bag, which was his favorite scotch, which is Glenlivet, and a 6-pack of Budweiser. And I thought, well, Charlie, I mean, I didn't know much about him. I thought, is he going to mix that Budweiser and scotch? Surely not. But he comes up and he says, oh, I got this ice and this scotch, but I got this 6-pack for you. And I'm like, well, Charlie, that's really nice. Thank you. Here, have one. Charlie, I'm driving you. Yeah. Well, I know, but here. And he puts it in the cup holder and open. I thought,
Niche.
we can't do that. We can't do that. And I did not touch it at all. But we violated the open container law, I'm sure, that day.
All right, so Charlie Wilson, for those of you that don't know, is a infamous and
yeah.
famous congressman representing the Lufkin congressional district in down Cleveland, East Texas.
Yeah, all East
essentially,
Texas.
all of
Deep
East
East
Texas.
Texas.
And during the war, not the United States Afghanistan war, but this is the one that preceded us, when the Russians were in Afghanistan. Charlie Wilson and a socialite in Houston, Joanne Herring, took it upon their cause to arm the Afghans to fight the Russians and actually beat them.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And it was during that time, JJ, that you were partly associated with Charlie Wilson.
Charlie, that all happened. The Berlin Wall came down in 1989,
Right.
and that is what was the first step in the breakdown of the Soviet Union. And Charlie Wilson did it. And Charlie Wilson, born in Trinity, Texas, a guy at East Texas, homegrown guy, and he and Joanne worked together. And Joanne lit the fire on him and took him to Afghanistan and saw where the Soviets had, obviously invaded and what they were doing to the local populace. I mean, they were putting toys out and booby trapping toys, because if you can injure a kid, it's going to take mom and the war. And he shuffled Stinger missiles to him, which brought down the the Soviet Hind helicopters, and that's what turned the tide.
Oh, yeah.
Bruce, can we jump over to incorporation real
Yes,
quick?
let's
'Cause
do it.
I want to
Let's
get
do it.
JJ's take on
You
that.
bet.
Before
Sure.
I ask the
Fire
question.
away. Fire away.
Tell us why the chamber came out in opposition to incorporation.
We essentially felt that to incorporate right now was going to be just what everybody says: rushed, risky, and expensive.
Untimely.
And we're in no rush. There is no need. And to our minds, we number one, we serve at our members because we're member-based, and almost 80% of our members said no to incorporation. And that was after going through 2 months of intense education forums we did between the trees. We had 2 different education sessions where we'd have speakers and talk about it. And it was just one of those things where we don't feel like the burden of proof, to use your legal term, was really satisfied. And if you want to do something, this is something I've always been taught when I was a consultant. You want to do a new product? Great. Prove it to me. And go around and talk to the other managers, talk to community leaders, talk to people, and tell them why we should do that. And that just hasn't been done in this case. And the thing that probably bothers me the most, and really kind of hurts my heart, is not just a Woodlands chamber guy, but as a Woodlands resident, is that it's become so divisive. We're neighbors. And when the Woodlands decided to transition to the current township governance model, it passed by over 80% because people were informed, they were engaged, and they were all on board for what it should be. And here we've got Facebook fights, and it's just tacky. And if we're going to do things like that, if we're going to do such a major change to a corporation, why don't we engage with each other? Let's all really talk about the pros and the cons, and let's make sure we're all on the same page before we put it on the ballot.
You know, I attended the township board meeting. It's the first one I attended since I had been chairman of the chamber, and the Woodlands Chamber of Commerce was presenting a resolution. Our chairman, Linda Nelson, was presenting saying, look, this is rushed. You're doing it too fast. You just had a financial model you dropped on us the day you voted to have the incorporation election. Take a breath. Let's have a pause. Engage the community, not just engaged in your little periodical, but let's get the business community and the residents all involved, the village associations, and let's do that. And I couldn't believe the dismissive response from the township board members. I sat there. It was insulting to me personally. I never attended a meeting where they said, well, we've been studying the test. It's time to take the test. We don't care. I couldn't believe this. This is all the township board driven. And JJ, I'm so proud of you taking a stand. I'm proud of the chamber. I'm proud of the fact that you presented the resolution, and I've just got to thank you for your leadership.
Well, thank you. I think it's our board, it's people that are in the community that really have a stake in the community, and they have some risk. I mean, there were some real heartfelt discussions about, look, I've got a business here, and it might be a small business, and I'm really concerned that I'm going to have retribution, which, by the way, if you're really afraid you're going to have retribution, then you should probably do it anyway, right?
Yes,
because
that's true.
none of us should live in fear.
No
I
way.
mean, last
No
I heard,
way.
we were in America. We're not somewhere else.
Yeah.
And so if you're concerned about retribution, then I think you've got to look at the culture and the character of the people you're really concerned about that and wonder if we've got the right leaders.
I'm all in there with you. And when I hear that, if someone's saying, well, I'm afraid that something will come back on me or it'll reflect on myself or my business, and I'm saying, you're actually living your life that way, that you're afraid of some township board member who's going to retaliate against you for taking a public position or a stand on an issue? It is.
And it
I know.
happened. We
It's
had
happening.
a township board member call the corporate offices of one of our board members. And
That's
I thought
crazy.
that was amazingly and it was out of character for that person that I knew. I really had more respect for that. That to say, hey, I've called the corporate offices, and they didn't even know this was going on, and what are you doing? Your organization doesn't even represent the Woodlands. Half of your people don't live. You know what? They do business in the Woodlands.
Right.
By the way, they're going to get taxed. And by the way, they don't have representation. If they don't live here, they can't vote in the township election, but they're still going to get taxed. Right. So it's going to affect them, and we're the economic driver for Montgomery County, and in a lot of ways the region. And we're so fortunate, and I keep going back, and I say this on purpose, we were voted the #1 city to live in, not once, but twice. #1 city in the entire country, right? #1 city. We're beating cities at their own game. Why do you need to be one? Again, prove to me why. And the fact that we're going to get some federal funds for a future pandemic or disaster, that by the way, the county comes to the county anyway, and we do benefit from that. It boggles my mind that we're taking so much time and effort, and it's so divisive. We're really taking away from the time and effort that we should be spending on things about how to make the Woodlands better.
I agree. And I always say, what problem we're solving? Is there something that everybody's all upset about that we need to come in and fix right now? And hey, by the way, I'm really upset about this. Nothing. There's no problem we're solving. There's no. What are we fixing? That's
you can't
the
get
biggest
annexed.
question.
The big thing was the Woodlands Parkway extension. That's no longer on the thoroughfare plan. And by the way,
they're
we
peddling
voted
that.
on that.
Yeah,
we
it's
voted
out.
on that.
It's
That
out.
was part of the Montgomery County road bond back in 2015. It was defeated. So we had access and control over that through the ballot box. And by the way, that road's not in the city limits. So if you become a city, you can't control what's going on outside your city limits.
And I see that being peddled by the township board as a fear factor anyways,
Yeah.
too. These fear factors, and then I want to stand in line for my federal money and do this. It's just crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, this is not a significant community problem that anyone's approached me or that I know about.
Yeah,
It's a false narrative.
And the county's still supportive of us. Rand Henderson, our sheriff, who we directly elect, by the way,
Yes.
is supportive of maintaining his role as our law enforcement agency in the Woodlands. Constable Ryan Gable also, again, and those are two individuals. We were told by both Ryan and Rand that they weren't consulted.
I know.
They weren't brought in to say, "Hey, we're thinking about becoming a city. What do you think?"
It's
it's
that's what
amazing
our
to me.
community policing program that I'm proud to have participated in preparing with Tommy Gage is the most, that makes us the most safest community in the nation, and a true community model built upon arrangements with the sheriff, and with the constable, with our neighborhood watch, all of the combined public safety services, Alpha Omega, they're all together, and that makes us a very safe community. And why would you break that up? Why would you destroy something that is so, right now, it's not broken.
What are we trying to fix?
It's not broken.
Jay, what do you need from our residents and businesses? How can we make sure we defeat incorporation?
Well, Jeremy, thank you for asking. And the thing that is the most important is voting starts on Monday, October 18th. Find out about the issue. If you don't know about it and you have a question about it, you want to talk about it, call me. Call me at the office. We'll talk about it. I don't care. When you want to call, we'll figure it out. But know about the issue and then go and vote. Because typically, very few people vote in an off-year election, 10%. Which, by the way, was, again, by design. Because we were told this would be put in a gubernatorial or presidential year, and it's not. It's in an off year. And so get informed and go vote. And if you want to work the polls in favor of not supporting incorporation, let us know. We'll put you in a time slot so you can come out. And because, again, we've all been there. We've all gone to go vote, and some people don't go vote because as soon as they step out of their car, they're getting harassed and harangued by a group of people that want you to vote a certain way, and they're pushing a placard in front of you. You know what? I told them before, like, I'm here to vote, not to talk to you. I'm here to go in and cast my ballot, and I know who I'm voting for. I don't need somebody giving me a card to go in and figure out how I'm going to vote.
And if you go to the community center, you can park right in front where you go in to vote for 20 minutes and not have to run through all the poll workers.
That's good. JJ, I want to thank you for being on the Legal Fix.
Thank you.
I want to thank JJ, President and CEO of the Woodlands Area Chamber of Commerce, for being on the show. We could a whole show.
It would be hard.
We could roll all day long. Great. So we know you have a time to come in. We appreciate you coming in and being in the studio. And
thank you.
Remember, everybody, get out to vote. Vote
tell
no
your friends,
against Proposition
tell your
1 and Proposition 2. Vote no on those two. Yes. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, JJ.